Namaste viewers, I am Arunisha Sengupta and today I am going to talk to you all about an act that you are unknowingly doing every day, a Homa that you are performing unknowingly every day, not just in India, but all human beings across the world at different times they are doing this Homa. This is the act of having your food. Now, many of us, at least the Indian culture, which I know of, and even in Christianity or any every other culture, we have been taught to respect food greatly. One of the obvious answers to it is food is sustains you, sustains your life, and therefore it needs to be respected. Agreed, completely agree. But with food, there has been a lot of corruption also. I mean, if on one hand you are taught to respect the food, on the other hand we have also disrespected food. We may not like the taste of the food, we may eat all unnutritional food, we may have food which does not sustain us, and so on and so forth. But it is important for us to know why this act is a Homa, and therefore what you are actually doing by is not just respecting the food, but you are actually doing an act of divinity. And once you become aware that this is actually a divine act, then probably somewhere, I don't know whether this will result into that, but probably somewhere we will be able to respect food and the process of food a little better than what we are doing today. So, in Maharashtra, I came across this, sometime back, especially when I had started my Agnihotram classes to people, and whenever in the evening, whenever we used to sit for having some snacks or some ahara, because I generally tend to do the classes on a partially empty stomach, and then there are some exercises which are given which kind of increases your hunger. When I had a lot of Maharashtrian community people who used to come for my classes, and a beautiful prayer they used to say. Some of them who knew about it and who have been taught by their parents and grandparents is Vadani Kavala Gheta Nama Ghya Shri Hariche. It was a very beautiful prayer. Now I'll just recite it. Many of you all may not understand the language, but just hear it for the beauty of it. वदनी कवळ घेता नाम घ्या श्रीहरीचे, सहज हवन होते नाम घेता फुकाचे, जीवन करी जीवित्वा अन्न हे पूर्ण ब्रह्म, उदरभरण नोहे जाणीजे यज्ञ कर्म. Which means that I am Vadani Kavala, means I am praying with folded hands and taking the name of Sri Hari, which is God Almighty, and with each morsel Sahaja Havana, means very beautifully and easily Havan is happening within me. Jivana Kari Jivitva, which means the life gets more alive and more energetic, because Anna is the Purna Brahma. Udara Bharana Nohe. This is not satisfaction of your hunger. The last line is extremely beautiful. Though this is just the first para or first stanza. There are a couple of more stanzas in this, but this is the particular stanza which is said while we are eating food. Udara Bharana Nohe Janige Yajna Karma. This is not an act of satisfying your hunger. But please understand that this is a yajna karma that you are doing. This is an act of divinity that you are doing. You are not sustaining yourself, because yajna karma are not about sustenance of yourself, but it is sustenance of the entire plan of the universe, the laws of the universe, the celestial beings in the universe, the deities in the universe, and all of that. So just this act of having the food, taking the food itself is a yajna karma. This is what is said. It was a beautiful prayer which struck me. I was at that point doing another prayer, which is again a very beautiful prayer, which is I had come across this when actually I was taking my German classes very young, okay, and my German master was telling me about it, that in Germany many of the restaurants has this Sanskrit verse which is written on the walls of this restaurant, okay, which is a prayer for food. I was not aware of it. I had not seen it. Then later on, many years later, I saw this particular verse in a restaurant in Dadar or Bandra. I'm not too sure, but it was a restaurant which was giving all Sattvic food, and it was a restaurant I think run by the Brahmin Maharashtrian community. So a beautiful prayer, which again mentions very clearly that the act of having your food is an act of divinity, and what you are actually doing is a uh, homa, is a havan. So brahmarpanam, I'm sure you know this prayer. Brahmarpanam brahmahavir, brahmagno brahmanahutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma karma samadhina. The I am giving to the Brahman, I am giving the ingredients of Brahma Havir. Havir is also the ingredients which also goes into doing a homa. Brahmagno, which means it is the Agni of the Brahma, Brahmagni, Brahmanahutam, okay. Brahmaeva tena gantavyam. So it's almost like the prayer of Purnamadam Purnamidam. So it's something like that, but the act of divinity is being performed by Brahman himself. So I am Brahman giving the ingredients which are Havi in the Brahmagni, and this is for the sustenance of the Brahman or the or Brahma or the act of divinity. So this is again a very beautiful prayer. I was a person who had certain reservations in having certain kind of food. I typically did not like leafy vegetables, say. Okay, I did not like brinjal, say, which is there are many children. As a child, I had not liked these kind of food, and I'm sure there are so many children, and you must have also developed a certain kind of taste for certain kind of food for yourself. From the time that I started doing my Agni ritual, and from the time that I started saying this prayer invariably, even when I am having a chai, I invariably in my mind say this prayer, the Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir. Okay? When I say this prayer, automatically the act of having that food becomes an act of divinity. I not only do it with much more profound respect, it is a respect with a lot of realization as well. And it discriminates, or rather it makes me aware that I should not be discriminating against food. I should be eating whatever is given in my plate with respect, because at the end of it, this is what is going to not just sustain me, but sustain the life in the universe. How beautiful is this verse? And such kind of verses, okay, this one, then I just spoke to you, the one in Marathi. These are various verses which have been considered as forms of prayer while having food. If you pay attention to these, you will realize that all of these are leading to saying that what you are doing is an actual homa, which means having your food Trisandhya, which is in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening. Okay, your breakfast, lunch, and your dinner is actually a homa that you are doing every day. It is being done not just by us, means the people of the Hindu community, but overall by everyone. Every living being is doing this. Even a animal is doing this. Okay, probably there is no awareness of this factor, but they are, at least the vital awareness is there that food is an important aspect of life. Okay, if only it is done with this little bit of realization, then you will see that the food intake will become an act of divinity, and you will realize that you are actually performing a Homa every day within your system. This is internal Homa, a holy fire which is inside your body, which you are sustaining, and which will result in giving you vitality, life, and the whole process of triggering spiritual connection. I hope you liked what I said just now, and thank you for listening to me.